Hi, I'm Mark McCormick.
And I'm Dana McCormick.
Question was asked how God came down in our lives. There is one particular way He did it for us that couldn't go unnoticed. This particular one was in 2008, in October of 2008. I was at home changing the brakes on the car, and my chest started hurting really bad. And in the hospital, they always ask you on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad the pain is, and it probably started at about a 4. So I was alone in the driveway, and I stepped back and looked at the car, and I already had the wheels off, and I had all the brakes apart. And for a minute, I thought, I wonder if I could finish the job, or should I go to the hospital? I made the wrong choice. I finished the job. I changed all the brakes, put the tires back on, bled the brakes, torqued all the lug nuts down like a fool, and even took the car on a test drive. And then I walked inside. Now the pain is about 7 or 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. And I told Dana that I was going to take a quick shower and we should probably go to the hospital. I still haven't asked her what she saw in me, but she said, no shower, let's go.
He just had this look of almost panic, but not quite, because he wasn't sure what was going on. And I just knew I've never ever seen that look before on his face. So I said, no, I just need you to go get in the car. And I remember calling for Madison and Tucker. You know, they were only 11, little, didn't quite understand everything, but I said, please just get in the car. We need to take Daddy to the hospital, and I'll tell you on the way. So we got in the car, and right away when I got on the freeway, I thought, oh boy, this was heavy traffic. And I remember that I was praying, and I think I was praying out loud. I just kept asking God, please don't let us get in an accident.
Our plan was to make it, we were living in Riverside, from Riverside to St. Joseph's Hospital in Orange. Bad plan. Somewhere around the Lincoln exit off the 91, I was in such bad pain. Now it was a 10. It was every bit of a 10. It was a bursting 10. That's all you can have is 10. It was every bit of that. And at the Lincoln exit, I remember saying, I don't think I'm going to make it. I can feel my body trying to shut down. And right away, without missing a beat, Madison and Tucker in the back seat asked for our cell phones, and they started making phone calls. And I could hear that they were calling family and some friends, and they called the church, so that by the time we did make it to the Lakeview exit, where Kaiser Hospital is, we don't have doctors there, we've never been there. There were so many people there. There was probably,
Maybe 15 people already there.
Friends and family, and Pastor Bob and Pastor Maury were already there. And after the kids made all the phone calls in the back seat, they started praying. And Dana was driving 100 miles an hour in weekday traffic on the 91, zipping in and out of lanes, never put a scratch on the car. And there's a lot of upset people gesturing to us on the freeway and at the Lakeview exit. It seemed like she ran over people, but she didn't. I remember laying on the bed apologizing to her for making the wrong decision and continuing with the brake job when I should have stopped as soon as I felt that. Should have called 911, that would have been a good idea, but I accept responsibility for that. Laying on the hospital bed, I remember saying to her, don't worry, I'm strong, God made me strong. And then Dana said that's when I stopped breathing, said my eyes were wide open, and the doctor said I flatlined 3 times. And he started hitting me with the paddles. And I found out from Dana afterwards that Pastor Bob and Pastor Maury started praying out loud. Pastor Maury put his arm around Dana and pulled her close to him and started praying. When I finally did come to, it was really quiet. I didn't have an out-of-body experience. There was no bright lights or no tunnels or flowery fields, nothing like that. But I remember asking what happened. Well, actually, first the nurse was shaking me and she was calling my name. Mark, are you all right? And she sounded so far away, and after about the 5th or 6th time she said, Mark, are you all right? Each time she said it, her voice got louder. And finally, on the last time, I said, what happened? And when I said what happened, then I heard my own voice, and I heard all the rest of the sound in the room instantly come back. And I heard the doctor's voice say, you're having a heart attack. And then I looked back and looked at the team working on me, and I remember thinking, wow, these guys are good. They've obviously done this before. I'm going to be all right. And it was a peaceful thought. Apparently I was in ICU for 8 days, and on the very first morning, I woke up and I noticed that they were circled around my bed, getting ready to hit me with the paddles again. And I remember thinking that I'm going to take a turn for the worse because I didn't feel good at all. But then Tony Thompson walked in. Tony's from our church, and his wife had just passed away the week before. And I know that she was in that same ICU. I don't know if it was the same room, but I know he came through the same entrance to come into that room. And I was imagining how hard that must be. I see him walking towards me. I don't know who he is. I didn't at the time, but he's walking toward me, and he just walked right up to me, grabbed my hand, looked me straight in the eye, and said, you're going to be all right. God is in control. I just smiled at him and said, thank you, and he let go, and he left. He was in the room for 2 seconds. Dana never left my side. I felt bad. I was in a comfortable hospital bed, and she slept in a chair. How long? For the whole time I was in there. After got out of the hospital, the first place we went was Wednesday night service, because that was the only place we wanted to be. And as soon as we walked in the door, I can't even count the people that came up to us and said, we've been praying for you. And I can't explain it. I don't know how, but we knew that I know you've been praying for me. Thank you. So many people that we didn't even know until that time.